Hello.
Hello
Whoa,
there.
was that Pac-Man?
Hi.
No, I had to look up and see. You squint. She looks just like Pac-Man. All
I have
right.
to Google this gentleman to see if that's a compliment or not.
No, don't do it.
Oh, God.
Don't do it. All right. We got a lot of stuff to get into.
Sure do.
First things first. I had a crazy schedule last week. I started off doing Funny You Should Ask, which is Byron Allen's show on Tuesday. And they gang tape. I always have to go slow. Those shows, they do 6 episodes in a day. So they go from the call times like 8:30, and then you get out of there at 8:30 at night, which is fine, but it's a long day. But then Wednesday, I did Bill Maher's show, which is his Club Random show.
How'd that go? I think I saw you that day.
Yeah, good. It's always a little tough because he smokes a little spleef and has a few drinks, and then you do too, and look out.
Wait, you smoked a little?
No, I didn't smoke.
I was like, I didn't know this about you.
Had a little cocktail.
Hey.
But, yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. It's good. I mean, I did it maybe the first week or two. He put the show on the air, and now I did it, last week. And kind of fun. Shows are all a little bit different. You go to his sort of man cave, guest house sort of thing on his property, and you sit there on the set, and they get you all ready, and they do something that's interesting that other shows don't do, which is they put a lav mic on you, which I think speaks to probably his TV background.
Oh, like HBO. It's less podcast and more HBO.
Yeah. And it's a lav, and I don't know. I mean, Dawson could kind of tell us, but I think the sound is a little better when you're just speaking into a mic like we are now, But the
that's
lav
the radio
works.
in us.
Yeah,
that's
it
the
works.
old-fashioned talk radio vibe.
It works.
Coincidentally, I did sound for Bill Maher's show for about 2 months.
Early on.
Early on. And I think they silent fired me because it was after the John McEnroe interview. John McEnroe wears a lot of jewelry.
Oh.
And when John McEnroe speaks, sometimes he plays tennis.
Yeah.
He's moving like
Right.
he's...
Yeah,
And
jingle, jangle.
there's all these chains jingling, jangling right into the love.
Right. It's got the chain. Yeah, it's not I don't think of him as a big jewelry guy, but he probably has a few chains that do it. So
It only takes a couple of things.
they lav you up. They put the little mic pack and they run the thing down your shirt.
It's like
and
when I
stuff.
go on cable TV.
Yeah.
Like on
It's
cable news.
lav.
Yeah.
And the sound's fine, but you're not leaning into a mic, and then you just sit back in a sort of comfortable diner, club chair, I think that's called. So I'm comfortable.
With
You've
those
seen it.
funky patterns.
Yeah, and then the thing that's interesting about it that's different is Bill makes an entrance. He walks in and sits down. It's not, we don't, normally you're sitting there, 3, 2, 1, go. He walks in, sits down, and the show starts, which is kind of nice. And then you just have a conversation about everything. Bill is probably, he's going further to the right. Mainly, he's had enough of the left. I think I don't think he's attracted to the right. I think he's being pushed from the left. I think if somebody ends up anywhere, it would be for one of two reasons. You're either being, when you leave a relationship, you're either attracted to somebody else or being pushed out by whoever you're with.
And he's being pushed out by the
I feel like
modern
he's
day
being
left.
pushed out.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of the difference between living in California. Living in California, as I've always said, no one ever left California my entire life. It was just throngs of people who were from other parts of the country. And no one ever left unless they got transferred for their job or something.
And then they were crying.
They hated it. And the only place anyone could ever move would be maybe Hawaii. They just go, I'm retiring, or my parents had a condo there and they died, and I'm just moving. I'm surfing, or something. But no one would ever move. Now people are leaving, and the sort of the bad news is for California is when you talk to people who are leaving, you go, where are you going? And they go, Texas, Florida, Nevada. I don't care.
Phoenix,
Phoenix,
Arizona.
Tennessee. I don't care.
Yeah.
So that's
Idaho.
The
A lot of people
so
went to Idaho.
when you go to Hawaii, you're being attracted to go to Hawaii, and when you're company transfers you to Denver, you're being attracted to Denver, but now you're being repelled. We're just leaving. So that's the difference between attraction and being repelled. And he's just being repelled. He's just being pushed from the left over toward the right. And he is, funny. He's intellectually honest. He's 70 years old, as he told me. He just turned 70.
Oh, wow.
And he has what's better than FU money. You know what that is, Elisha Krauss?
I wish I had some from time to time.
No, you don't.
Why?
You wish you had F-me money. F-me money is more precious than FU money.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
FU money is where...
That came from the television show Billions, right?
FU money?
Yeah, isn't that one of the things that they
FU
talk
money's
about
been around for a long time. FU money is
You got enough, if somebody F's around, they can find out because you could buy their company and own them.
That's FU. Mostly I think of FU is some employee quits and claims you were racist against them and sexually promiscuous, and they want you to pay him $100,000.
Yeah, that's not really my MO, but interesting.
Well, that you don't have FU, you don't have FME money. So, widely attributed to author James Clavell in his book,
interesting
1981 book. Anyway, now listen to me. The point is this person wants $100,000 to go away. Then I have FME money now.
Oh.
FME money is I go, I don't care. I'm fighting that bitch in court. And then my financial advisors say it's going to cost you $1 million to fight her in court. And I go, I don't care.
Oh, that's like what Peter Thiel did to that now defunct liberal media company, right?
Yes.
That was amazing.
Right, Gawker. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's FME money? So
yeah,
Bill has FU, not FME money?
No.
Oh, he has both?
Bill has FME money, which is more money than FU money.
Got it.
Okay. So you can fuck yourself and still not care.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because you just want to win and prove a point.
FU money is like where you go, I'm going to take all the money I owe alimony to, and I'm going to put it into nickels, and I'm going to drag it over to my ex's house, or something like that. That's a calorie burner and stuff like that. But it's not FME money. FME money's shutting down Gawker and that kind of stuff.
Sometimes I have dreams of FU money, of buying up former companies that I used to work for and proving them wrong and firing all the managers who were dicks.
So, yeah, FU money would be probably buy the companies and then run the companies and make money.
Yeah.
FU money is buy the company and shutter it and lose all the money, but you're out of it. The people you hate are out too.
Yeah.
I'm losing money.
Yeah.
F you. F me. F everyone. Bill is 70. He has no kids. He has no wife. He's been making millions of dollars for the last decades in this town without ever taking a month off. I mean, he's been working, touring, and getting paid good HBO money nonstop for, 30, 40 years.
I was going to say, as long as I've been alive.
40 years.
Yeah.
So he's got me money, and he's like, I'm old and I'm rich and I get to tell the truth. When you're young and rich, you don't necessarily get to tell the truth because you're not going to get invited to cocktail parties and you want to go.
Or get re-signed by a very liberal network.
Yeah, but when you're old and you're rich, you're like, I say whatever I want.
I wonder if that this is the first time it's crossed my mind because this show is pretty successful. I wonder if it's ever crossed his mind that he's worried that HBO or would HBO consider axing him if they don't like what he has to say. But I feel like he's so baked into the cake over there that'd be so unusual for them to do.
Agreed. And he does well, and the show's really good.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. So anyway, went over there and sat down with him and had a laugh.
Wait, was this the DC weekend too?
Yeah, so then
you did have a crazy travel week.
After that, after doing Bill's show and finishing Wednesday night, I got home and got up at 5:30 in the morning. Say 5:30, maybe 5.
To make that flight where you lose the whole day in the air?
Yes, that's LAX to LaGuardia? No.
Wait,
Yeah.
you went to
Where did we
DC?
land? Newark? Newark, yeah. We land Newark. And then had to do 2 shows at Rodney's that night.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Even before
wow.
DC?
Yes.
Jeez.
Did 2 shows that night.
Did you get some good pasta and pizza, though, like
Thursday.
in the city?
Let me tell you something. There is no dinner. It's 2 shows
It's just go.
Thursday night. Andrew bought way too much pizza. That's fine.
But did he get the right kind of pizza?
He had one thing, but it had broccoli on it. I don't
Ew.
know. Yeah, I know. Look, I want to just see. I
What
like
are
to
you,
look
a
at
fascist?
I like to look at Dawson's face, but it had broccoli on it. And by the way, I was completely fine with the whole thing because I talked to Andrew, and he was on the phone, and Andrew goes, "I'm going to order some pizzas," and I was like, "All right, well, go ahead." There's only me, Mike, and Andrew, right?
Uh-huh.
So then we get back.
You really need just one pizza for 3 dudes.
We get there, and then I look at the pizza, and there's cheese. Okay, fine. And then there's Neapolitan or whatever the one is that I don't really want, which I never get. Who gets that pizza? The one with the big bay leaf on top
Clearly
of it,
the
or whatever. What is that
fascist
one?
likes rock balance
Margarita.
Margarita. There's a margarita.
Oh, I like the margarita.
Everyone loves a margarita, but no one really wants a margarita. Everyone loves it, but no one really wants it. Everyone would rather have real pizza than a margarita. But anyway, cheese, margarita. And then a meaty thing, a sausagey thing, but it had broccoli on it. So then broccoli's a pizza killer, by the way. It doesn't help. It's better. There are few things you can say this would be better if this was gone. And broccoli's one of the few things that actually hurts pizza.
Yeah.
It's like kitty litter on pizza. It sops up the goodness. But anyway, a little bit of broccoli. What was that pizza? How did broccoli get? And by the way,
He just
Andrew
felt like he was
is a
eating on-
vegetarian, so that pizza's not for him because it has sausage on it.
I was setting up for the podcast. It was someone at Rodney's went rogue, gave them a credit card. They picked up the margarita.
Everyone went.
Someone went rogue. I said, just meat lovers.
Now that person is listening to the show.
So
and
then
like,
the comedy
Whatever.
is the
I don't
whole
care.
night. I was like, 4 large pizzas, Jesus Christ! And then at some point,
I took one home and finished it.
when
It was
we're packing up, I go, we're packing up at Dr. Drew's house where me and Mike stayed, and I go, hey man, listen, we gotta. And I wasn't. If you noticed, Andrew, the number 1 pizza complainer in America, did no complaining. I just took the pizza. I ate the pizza.
Until right now.
I didn't say anything about broccoli. I didn't say anything about the margarita. I didn't say anything. And then I'm sitting in Drew's living room. We're packing up. And I go, hey, man, we got to kick Andrew over a few bucks. I mean, he bought like $150 worth of pizza. He's not a rich guy. I don't know why he bought so much pizza, but he shouldn't have to eat it, pardon the pun. So we got to give him a few bucks for the pizza. And then Mike goes, oh, we paid for that pizza. And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. God damn it. God damn it. Now I'm so retroactively pissed that there was broccoli and a margarita and 2 regular cheese. So somebody, maybe it's just me, but I cannot let people order pizza. I have to get involved. Otherwise, you'll get margarita and you'll get broccoli.
A whole...
What kind of meat lover wants broccoli on their pizza? Is there a meat lover who loves the meat? Unless it's a gay version of meat lover. Like maybe Don Lemon loves broccoli on his pizza, but broccoli is broccoli's not good anywhere, but it's really bad on a pizza and totally unnecessary. It had like sausage and onion and olive and broccoli.
There's no world where broccoli is good on a pizza.
No.
Nothing. That person is a sociopath.
I am a guy who enjoys broccoli. If I eat a steak and you steam me up some broccoli and put some butter on it, I will enjoy I like broccoli, not good on pizza. And margarita, everyone says they like it, but they don't. They'd rather have whatever I order them more. So you didn't order the pizza, Andrew. Then the club ordered it.
I said 1 plain and 1 meat lovers, and I said, do not put pepperoni on it because it overpowers the rest of the pizza.
No pepperoni. That's
and then
right.
I went back to getting ready for the show.
And then there are 4 large
They went
pizzas.
rogue.
Someone
and
went
one had
rogue.
broccoli. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Remember the last time we went to Rodney's, we had a little Pizzagate situation.
Literally the same place.
Same
But that
place.
person, it was like the Westwood One gal ordered it,
Yeah.
and there was confusion. But
Well,
it was a
that's-
Mike lost in translation because that's what Mike does.
Because Mike wrote, I said, Mike, just make sure there's one sausage and onion. And he wrote sausage and onion. And then he put a space and he wrote only. And that made the person think it wasn't supposed to have cheese or sauce on it, because he's the only person on the planet that puts the word only after the toppings. Everyone else just goes, give me a pepperoni, give me a sausage and onion. But he put the word only in there, and that got them.
I feel like we should do a
confused.
compilation at the end of this year. It's like the year in review, but it's all of Mike's mishaps.
I cannot tell you, Andrew, the pain, the disappointment, and the rage that coursed through my veins once I found out I paid for the pizza. When I thought you paid for it, I was in a very
felt bad.
generous mood.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about the broccoli, and I didn't say anything about the margarita. I didn't say anything, and then I found out I bought the broccoli, and then I was pissed.
I'm thrilled that I wasn't there when that happened.
Yes, and we took the margarita home, and Mike ate all of it. So that's what happened with that. Okay.
Now I'm hungry.
I then went from that, 2 shows Thursday night. Friday, did the Mark Norman and Sam Morrell We May Be Drunk podcast at noon.
Did you drink on that one too, like you did on Bill's?
I tasted a little of their rye. I don't want to be rude.
Ooh, that's nice.
They have their own rye, and we walked in like, I mean, it was 0 degree temperature.
Polar vortex.
I have cold weather gear that will do for a short distance, but not a long haul.
But like probably the cold weather gear that I have, that's like if it's in the 30s or the 40s, not like below freezing.
It was really bad, and we trekked it from Drew's place to their place, which was about a half-hour trek outside.
Oof.
It was pretty damn brutal. And then did that from noon to 1:30. Then went from there to Gutfeld. Gutfeld show was from like 2 to 3.
Yeah, I heard he likes to tape early on Fridays.
Yeah.
Get out of there for the weekend.
Gutfeld is so loose and so easy. I mean, he shows up 5 minutes before the show starts. And
That's fun.
Gutfeld was really sweet because he was telling me he was listening a lot to this podcast and getting a lot of ideas and stuff from it, which I'm always fine with that. And he said, ever since Scott Adams died, he's coming to me for his ideas, which is sweet because I love Scott Adams.
That's an honor.
That was a real honor. That's the way I thought. He's a good guy and all that. We did that.
That's a fun show too. Who were
That
you
was
on
fun. Chef Gruel, who'll be in
Love
here
him.
any moment now. Let's see.
with? Get
And,
Chef Gruel to bring us all some food.
he probably will.
He's like so good. The restaurant's so good.
Also, Shalhoub, Tom Shalhoub.
Mm-hmm.
And who was sitting next? Oh, Kennedy. Kennedy.
Oh, that's a great panel.
Yeah, I go back so far with Kennedy from K-Rock days. She was called the Virgin Kennedy. We called her the Virgin Kennedy.
No
That was her
way.
name. Yeah, Gruel's tomorrow.
I just remember her from MTV, but that's so
I
K-Rock
go
was pre
MTV
Wow.
with K-Rock, because K-Rock kind of was a farm team for MTV. Carson Daly,
Yeah.
me, Drew, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. So then we go do that. Then we get in a car and drive for 2 hours to go out of New York, 65 miles out, but traffic and all that kind of stuff, to do the live show with Megyn Kelly, which is in a theater that's
That was Westchester, right?
oh, Andrew knows. I'm so bad with all this all
it
this
north?
stuff.
Chester. It's in Chester.
Oh, just
Chester.
Yep.
Yeah.
not Westchester. Two very different places.
Well, it's got the word Chester in it. Then we do that show Friday night and then drive 2 hours back to the city and then get up Saturday morning and take a 4-hour train ride from New York to D.C. And then do 2 shows at the Kennedy Center.
The soon-to-be shuttered for 2 years
I
Kennedy
may have
Center.
shut that place down. And
You could have been like one of the last shows there.
D.C. and then fly out Sunday morning to come back to here to work here
Yeah.
on Sunday from D.C. So that was my weekend.
So you're telling me you
everybody.
need a nap and or an espresso martini stat.
I slept for like 11 hours the other night because I'm done.
I think if something I've learned working with you these last few months is like, please don't ever stop working because then I'm afraid you'll just die.
I don't look. It's
Like
all,
you're one of those people that it's like they cannot retire because they would be bored out of their minds.
no
And
part.
would just like you have nothing to do.
No,
so
I
then
would.
You just, like,
I would never be bored. I would immediately build and do car related stuff.
That's true.
I would
That's
always.
true,
I
because
have major hobbies.
but you also have hobbies that give you kind of like instant gratification and
Yes.
like a purpose and like fulfillment, right?
Well,
but I still think you should never retire.
None of the stuff in and of itself is work. Hanging out with Mark and Sam and being funny is not work, and hanging out with Gutfeld and being funny is not work, and hanging out on stage with Megyn Kelly, who's a world-class speaker and fun, is not work either. But put them all into one day, and then it turns into work.
It's the travel.
It's the travel. Yes. So there was that. That was kind of crazy last few days. We want to talk about some of the Grammys the other night.
Oh yeah.
And some of the speeches and some of the stuff. I think we have a Bad Bunny and we have a Billie Eilish, and you guys have heard this stuff, but you haven't really heard my take on it. So we can start with Bad Bunny.
Which is kind of a
yeah.
Do you like him? I actually like his music.
No, I don't know. I don't know his music. I heard he was first time ever. I heard he was a reggaeton artist, and that's my least favorite. No, soca. Soca and reggaeton is the word.
I don't know that he's that. I would say that his latest album, which was also nominated for, it's a new category, like album cover of the year, which was kind of weird because it's like just a lawn chair on its side. But anyway, I like a lot of it. When I was training for the Camino, I'd use it to like keep the beat on hikes when I was trying to be really like keep my time.
First off,
because it reminded me of like Cubano jazz. Like that's what it reminded me of.
I'm not going to try to diminish anyone's musical accomplishments. Now, I think I would prefer certain kinds of music over this kind of music, but I'm not. See, I'll tell you what I never get into. When Trump and sometimes even Hannity and guys like that, when they start going after people, they'll go, Robert De Niro, a loser, never made a good movie. Zero talent. I got more talent than my people. Can act his way out. It's like, okay, no. He's a great actor who's been involved with many great movies, and then you disagree with him on this subject.
Yes.
And he's got a 10-cent head, and he's just trying to give some red meat to his super leftist lunatic base. And he's a gifted actor.
And that's how I feel about Bad Bunny and Billie Eilish. I think they're both idiots when it comes to public policy and government and the IDF and immigration and ICE out and all this other BS. But like, they're incredibly talented singer-songwriters.
Yes. Now, I would say I don't know Bad Bunny that well, and I probably don't appreciate his genre of music, but I could never. Now, he's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Does that make him an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to give a speech, but I never get the oversimplification of things. And then also, but I mean, I guess it's the left does it all the time. It's kind of weird because they always talk about how complicated everything is and how nuanced everything is.
But then they love to bunch it all
together. And they get to the
together.
root cause of everything. And then Tim Walz goes, thugs kicking open doors, pointing at people look different than them, and disappearing them into sweat gulags. That's your description of what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's hear him.
I'm going to say
defund the police, or
Yes.
no child should go to bed hungry, or everyone should have world class. That's not a solution. You're just telling people who enforce laws to leave, and then we wouldn't have any problems. If we didn't have, if we didn't, you could argue that if we didn't have lead testing kits, then we'd have no detection of lead inside of houses
True.
or pipes, which would be true, but we'd still have a problem and we'd still have lead.
But we wouldn't know about it.
Right. And if you had no carbon monoxide sensor in your house, then you'd
Yeah.
never have a problem with carbon monoxide, except for you'd still have carbon monoxide. You just wouldn't have a buzzer going off. So their plan is to get rid of everything.
Because the buzzer's super annoying and it's like affecting
Right.
their sleep and how they feel about things.
Right. All
so
right. So he says ice out.
let's ignore the poison.
Means he has a 10-cent head.
They do it for the applause.
Let me give you guys two extreme examples of Ace Man. Dawson was there for one of them, perhaps. I went and played like University of, I don't know, Texas Longhorns or whatever, you know, 4,000 people there, me and Dr. Drew, college tour many years ago. All you got to do is yell hook 'em horns. And
Yeah.
the whole place erupts.
Yeah.
You just yell hook 'em horns.
It's low hanging fruit.
You go hook 'em horns, and if you have a joke that doesn't go over well, you yell hook 'em horns. If things get a little stale, you yell hook 'em horns, and you know that whole place. You just go ice out, and everyone's going to rise up on their feet and start going nuts. All right. On the other hand, you go to the club I played in Alaska and stand in front of that partisan crowd and explain to them that the fresh caught salmon that I got from your Alaskan river is no better than the frozen shit I got from Trader Joe's. And watch that audience. They'll turn fast. And my thing is
Well, this happened over the weekend at the Grammys. He gets cheers for this. Billie Eilish gets cheers for what she says, which we'll get to in a little bit. But then Jelly Roll gets up and is like, Jesus is awesome and saved my life. And only, God bless her, Reba
Right.
McEntire is clapping. And
Right.
they can't even show
Right.
anybody else because everybody else is like, wait, what? Why are we talking about Jesus?
It's real easy to get in front of that crowd in Texas and yell hook 'em horns.
Yeah.
Real easy. It's tough to get in front of an Alaskan crowd and tell them the truth.
It is the truth, too. It's fresh
were
salmon is
pulling-
not fresh
We're
trout.
pulling the salmon straight out of the river.
Straight out.
We're cooking it up that night.
Yep.
And I'm eating it going, it's exactly the same as the shit I got from Trader Joe's.
Exactly the same as Costco. Same thing.
I mean, I feel like Kirkland should now be hiring you to do an ad for their salmon based on that analysis.
All right, so we'll play more Bad Bunny. So
Attacking female journalists in downtown LA and saying kill a cop is not.
it's all
hate,
projection.
it's
love.
It's all
It's love.
projection. All this hate and cruelty and all this
Love.
stuff. It's like, look, when you take your 9-year-old to the dentist and the guy's drilling away on your 9-year-old's teeth, and your kid is miserable, crying. I mean, you can call it being a bad parent, hateful, a cruel parent, or the kid needs a filling. Like, there's just business, and business sometimes gets a little messy, and sometimes people get hurt, but that's what it is. And the notion that they can take everything and turn it into a comic book, like Trump, hate, intimidation, and fear. It's like, no, he's got a problem. You left the border open. Millions of people came in. And we have to get them out. And by the way, getting them out will get messy, especially if you don't help and you fight it.
Turns out we've deported more people from red states and red cities, but there haven't been the fallout.
Yeah, so-
like there has been in Minneapolis. Why?
Right.
The question is why. I also kind of take issue with we are all Americans. No,
Yeah,
sir,
so-
you are an American. I am an American. But the people that ICE is gathering up and deporting and putting, checking their asylum papers are not American.
Well, would any of this, if you ask these people if this would work, whatever your description of this is, if we just did Canada as an example. So everyone who sneaks into Canada is just Canadian. And then if the Canadian guards and Border Patrol try to find you and send you back to the United States, they're way out of line and it's because they're cruel? Like, what if we just... And what if Canada built a wall and said, nobody's coming through here unless you're Canadian or you have work visas or whatever? Like, if we just took all these rules and we applied it to Canada, you'd have no problem with it.
Well, that's what's so funny.
So they're allowed to do it.
Yeah, we have a lot of friends from Scandinavia, and there, other than Sweden until more recently, like Finland, for example, their freaking immigration system is so tough.
Yes.
It's incredibly tough.
Canada's the worst. But
and Canada
yes.
is the worst too. And leftists often look to, let's look to Finland. Let's look to Canada. Let's look to all these countries that are so socialist and leftist until it comes to that very issue. And then they completely ignore it.
All right. I think we got a Billie Eilish clip to play as well. It's funny how
I mean, at least she's wearing the Ice Out pin and not the bloody Intifada pin this time.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah, there's a pin. We got a new pin. She's also the most miserable 25-year-old gazillionaire I've ever met. But here,
she's dressed like a Scottish priest.
I don't know. She's got a 10-cent head, too. But let me just explain the rule. Let me explain what's going on. And you can help fill in some of these blanks. But every year there's something new. And there is a COVID version of this where you talk about the heroes and the nurses. And then there's a Ukraine version of this where you wear a pin for the Ukraine. And then there's a Time's Up, I believe. And then there's a Black Lives Matter.
And there was the anti-IDF, like Free Palestine.
Right. So there's
and now it's this.
It's literally in 6 years, there's 6 movements. Nobody ever talks about the stuff they were talking about 5 years ago or 3 years ago. It's a new thing, right?
Political jargon for them and talking points and feelings when it comes to politics and being anti-Trump are as quickly changing as fashion for these guys.
Right. Now, let me explain the phenomenon because, as I've said a million times, they're all in lockstep with one another every single time, which is an impossibility because we got a Super Bowl coming up. We got Seattle. We got New England. If you said to them, everybody makes an acceptance speech, has to say who they're for or give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, you'd get a lot of go Birds, fly Hawks or whatever, and then you'd get a lot of go Patriots. So it'd be split. It'd be split. And they're split on everything. Except for none of these subjects. No Black Lives Matter, no Time's Up, no defund the police, no Israel, anything, Palestine, whatever. No, what do we call them? Ice Out, Me Too. Okay. How does a group of people this diverse, by the way, men, women, young, old, I mean, at the top of the food chain, you got Jane Fonda. 90 years old. You got Billie Eilish at 24 and a half, right? You got gay, you got straight, you got black, you got white. How are they all Seattle fans? How do we get them all into one boat? And by the way, what's COVID have to do with ICE, and what's ICE have to do with Palestine, and what's Palestine have to do with Black Lives Matter, and what's Black Lives Matter have to do with I'm with her or believe all women or anything. These are all very diverse. These goes from regional things to diseases to social issues. How are they all magically in the exact same place, 100% on all of it, all the time? And if there is one person who may not be ice out, like a jelly roll, they'll never go, hey, fuck y'all, you're nuts. Yeah. These people risk their lives every day. Their average pay is $62,000 a year. You guys are billionaires. You all live behind gated communities, so you're all a bunch of hypocrites. No, they just go, Jesus Christ, thank Jesus Christ, which is code with I disagree with you progressive pricks, but they can't, no one says anything. All it is everyone goes and praises the Seahawks, and then every once in a while, some guy goes, I love the Seahawks too, but I think Belichick should be in the Hall of Fame. But anyway, just saying. Going back, doesn't say anything. Okay, so how's this happen? Well, how it happens. Okay. They are in a business. You could listen to all of the Grammy-winning songs, album of the year, video of the year, whatever it is. And there's no discernible difference than the other one that lost. And you may in fact like the one that lost better. It's not picture of the year, movie, film of the year. What do you get? Moonlight.
Yeah.
Does anyone fucking want to see it? If you show that to a normal person and you show them any other movie that didn't even win, just a well-spoken, show them Moonlight and then show them Back to the Future. And every human being will say, I like Back to the Future better, but Back to the Future did not win it, whatever. So it's not a quality situation. Yeah. And soon it'll be Sinners or
oh, it's 100% going to be Sinners at the Oscars.
Right. I sit back, or the other movie, whatever it is. I sit back here with these guys, and they're fairly progressive, and they're Hollywood whatever, and they're super honest guys. I watch football with them, and I go, Sinners. Do I need to say they're all like, and these are progressive guys. That's 6.5, maybe.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
You don't really need to. One battle after the other. I saw it. It's horribly flawed. It's comically, whatever. Are those the two best films of the year? No, not at all. If those people started saying we support Trump, guess who's out?
Yep.
You are fucking out. And if you support ICE, you're out. And if you're not down with Black Lives Matter, out. And you're not wanting to free Palestine, you're out. So it's all out. So now we have a weird thing. We have a group in the films, Oscars. We have a group, Sundance, documentaries. I make Sundance, worthy documentaries. You can check my scores on Rotten Tomatoes. I'll never get into Sundance.
Did you see that about the Melania documentary? It has 6% critic and it's like 98% audience.
Right. Okay.
Score. It happens all the time.
It is a horrible business model for me, who makes documentaries, who needs to sell documentaries at Sundance. It's a pathetic business model for me to talk how I talk about COVID or anything else, which means no entry into Sundance. If you take all my docs and you add up all the scores, it'll be much higher than what gets accepted into Sundance, but I don't because I fucking talk too much. Fine, I accept it.
Because you have principles, damn it.
Nah, I just talk. All right, these people who are making music know it could be anybody who gets like Emmys, Oscars, Grammys, whatever that thing is. Times, most interesting person of the year. Times, most influential black, whatever. All right, never. So they understand. So then they get up there and they go, this is a group that I don't want to be shunned from or tossed out. I cannot be pushed out of this tent.
Because in a lot of ways, it's their livelihood.
In a lot of ways, it is their livelihood.
The Bill thing, right? Bill can do that now.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe he would have, I don't know him personally, maybe he would have done it 20 years ago if the left was as crazy then as they are now. But like he can do it now because of his age and because of his wealth. If you have lots of people that are getting up there that don't feel comfortable being ousted yet because of their age and their wealth.
If you're a young actor or director and you just got up there and you go, look, I'm sorry you guys don't like it, but I voted for Trump and I voted for this.
And so does our audience.
And so, right. That guy's never working again in this town. That guy can go to Angel Studios now. That's 10 minutes old now, but you're gone. You're shunned. You're out. So they all know it, and they all know what the subjects are. Here's COVID. Yeah. Shutting down schools. For it. Good. Wearing a useless mask. For it. Good.
Getting a job.
Getting experimental vaccine. Multiple times. Experimental. Just say yes. Good. Okay. 6-foot distancing. No signs behind it. You're for it. Good. Shutting down churches. Good. How about Black Lives Matter rallies? No. We're for those. Those are fine. We can keep going with those. Okay. Whatever the subject, you guys, here's what it is. And this will prevent you from getting kicked out of the club. Now, we're going to have an award show. And you get up there, and whoever praises whatever your policies are the loudest, and by the way, we hate Trump. So you got to say something shitty about him and then something great about Black Lives Matter or whatever that thing is. Whoever does that the best is going to stay in the club the longest. So now you have a decision to make. You can do one of three things. You can either go up there and do ICE out and nobody's illegal. And by the way, these are just platitudes. And no one's ever going to ask you to do anything. You don't have to go to a rally or march. You don't have to you go back to your double-gated community.
There won't be a follow-up question.
You take your security detail, get in your armored limo, and go back to your double-gated community. Do not worry. Nothing's ever going to follow you home. You'll be fine. But you can either do that, or you can go up there and just be neutral, not say anything, but that will make people wonder if you should be in the club. Or you can touch that third rail and say you love ICE and you love Trump, in which case you're 100% out and you're going to get booed off the stage. So what do these people do? And then people go, I don't get it. Like, how do they all believe the same thing? Like, how did they all end up in the same place with COVID? How they all know that ivermectin was horse paste? How they all against, by the way, ICE and Border Patrol, who was doing their thing under Obama like gangbusters? Why are they all in the exact same place all the time? And the answer is they're not. They don't want to be thrown out of the club, so they get the marching orders. And they want the people to cheer.
I also think that there's an element of, like, as we talked about with liberal Karens, like millennial women that just do whatever the left tells them to do because of the brainwashing. I think that there's a level of that brainwashing and ignorance here.
Yes.
That these people are so in their own bubbles.
Yes.
That they're not going to the person who paid $150 to sit in the nosebleeds at their concert and being like, tell me your life story and what's your family like and who'd your parents vote for.
Well,
they're only talking to the people like that work for them, that write their paychecks for them, that plan their tours, that book these things. You know, media that's super friendly. And when you're in that bubble, there's no cracks of reality that can get through.
Yeah, I mean, they probably could have. There was lots of stuff they could have figured out about, look, defunding police. It's like, you got to kind of know that's a third grade kind of question. Like, that's not going to work out.
But not when they're told by Al Sharpton and Don Lemon and everybody like, oh, well, we have to defund the police because the police are inherently racist. And look at how many black people
but I would argue. Here's
deeper.
All right, sorry. Here's my argument. We go, oh, they're brainwashed. They're brainwashed. But it's like, they put their masks on during COVID when the cameras fired up. When the cameras were down, they were off. So are they brainwashed or are they doing this for the camera? Because if they were brainwashed, they'd be wearing it in the bathtub.
And some of them did.
Do you understand the point I'm making?
No, I do, though.
All right, thank you.
Now, I'm not saying broadly every single one of them.
I'm not saying.
I
think they get the message, and I think they get the message of how this is going to work. Like they hide, they go, hey, we don't tell people what to say. Yeah, you don't tell people what to say or what to think. They get the message. It's like when Justin Trudeau's like, I never had vax mandates. No, you didn't have vax mandates. You couldn't fly. You couldn't be on a train.
Shut down churches.
Couldn't take public transportation. You couldn't travel, and you couldn't have your job, and you couldn't go to a restaurant. But there were no vax. There are no mandates, you fucking douche. Yeah, that is a mandate. And so they do. It's CNN or wherever. We don't tell people what to say with their acceptance speech. We don't. I know you don't say it. They get the job. All right. Yeah, Billie Eilish, somebody tweeted me that lives on like 4 acres in a gated place with like $14 million.
This is the same thing that so people say this because of American, Native Americans, and then people say this because of, oh, well, Gaza's stolen land and yada, yada. But like, where does this end? For millennia.
Yes.
Nations and peoples all over the world have been conquering and taking land from other people.
Yes.
So am I supposed to look up my house on Zillow and then go back in the records and see who owned it 1,000 years ago and pay their family reparations?
I got the time,
or something?
Andrew. I'd like to read this. We're trying to read this thing.
Oh.
Thank you. It's her. So I guess there's not a clip on. I cannot really read it from here, but maybe Dawson can.
You want me to read it? I have
you
good
can
eyesight.
read it. You have good eyesight.
Ha ha. 20/20 vision.
By the way, before I sound too old, your TV's 4 feet closer than mine. That's why. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So somebody, Anthony Cumia on X said, let's look at Glendale, where Billy lives, just down the road. Native Americans lived along the Glendale Narrows of the Los Angeles River, known to the Tongiva people as Paima Paxate, I can't see that, for thousands of years before the arrival of European settlers.
Yes. All right. We will take ourselves a break. We got some news, and then we'll get a little more in this Billie Eilish stuff, and we'll do that right after this. Simply Safe.
Voicemail.
Hey, Adam, this is Deputy Inspector, the inspector that's right across the street from the firehouse on PCH. Haven't seen you down there in a while. If you come by, you know where to find me. I'll be in my truck. Talk to you later. Love your show.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah, deputy inspectors. I'll be fast, but the city has inspectors, and you call for inspection when you build, and you just kind of go along in sequential order, get the foundation inspected, get the framing inspected, get the drywall.
Yep.
Deputy inspectors are inspectors that the city doesn't provide. You pay them a lot.
Oh, we've talked about
and they
this.
watch
Yeah.
you weld. Or they watch you.
And they tell you if you're doing it right or wrong or not.
I didn't even know I've had deputy inspectors. Like I said, most of them sit in their truck and eat and watch. And then you pay them. But you're not going to say anything because you need the certificate they give you.
It seems so like USSR vibes.
Well, here's
Right?
what it is.
Like
Look,
communist Russia. It's like, well, you must pay this man to do the thing so you can get the approval.
here's what I want to explain to all cities with all their overly burdensome regulations and red tape. Cottage industries start popping up. So you go, well, we need tons of inspectors. And then you go, why? Because we want to see everything. And they go, okay, so I was doing steel work, and the steel work needs a deputy inspector to watch the people weld. Literally, I'm just going to watch you weld. Then later on, I'm going to take a ultrasound sonogram machine magnetometer, and I'm going to go over every weld, and we'll get a report on the integrity of the welds. And I'm like, why do we need the guy watching?
Yeah.
If then we're just going to go put it a microflux over it and x-ray every weld. And they go, why? Because it's a rule and you're paying the guy.
Yep.
So they don't care. So what happens is you start getting overly burdensome with your regulations, and then deputy inspectors start popping up. That's not a job. That's never was a job. There's no such thing as a deputy inspector, but now there is such a thing as a deputy inspector. And once you start creating all these rules, you have so much red tape downtown, permits. There's jobs called expediters.
Yep.
My job is I push through all the red tape and I get you to the front of the line. I'll have to then pay you to get a permit when I didn't need to, except for there's so much red tape now. The line is so long, now I need an expediter. So all these other ancillary jobs start cropping up, and then it becomes its own ecosystem and its own economy, but it's all created with your fucking red tape. And you want to know, like, oh, no building, we can't get any permits. Or
Yeah.
whatever. Of course there's no permits, there's no building. You've created a massive bureaucracy, and
That doesn't
it
work.
grinds everything to a halt, and
Yeah.
it causes all these side businesses that come up and NGOs. And no, the money doesn't go to the homeless. It goes to these NGOs that help the homeless. And next thing you know, it's all gone and nothing got helped and nothing got worked and everything
Like the
grounds to a
fire
halt.
relief concert.
Yes, everything just grinds to a fucking halt. And then
Yep.
listen, there's only one answer, which is deregulate. You have to bring it back. That's it. And they won't do it.
But that's a leftist's worst nightmare.
Right. It's less rules.
Yes.
Well, basically what it is more of you and freedom and less of us and dominion over you.
But
and
they
we
love
hate
the
that.
dominion.
Yes. And then we're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
call Trump, we're going to call him a dictator.
Yeah.
And he's saying less rules. He's the only dictator in history that says less rules.
Yeah, that says let the people build, on their land.
Yeah.
Unless
So
it's stolen land. I guess we all live on stolen land, according to Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish lives on what I heard is about 4 acres and about $14 million estate
Good for her.
with security and a gate. And I'm all for it too. And probably a house that's like 7,200 square feet or something. Big house, big estate, big property, big bucks, lots of security. And she's living the American dream, and I got no problem with that whatsoever, but shut your fucking face. Just shut up. Just shut up. And the part where there's backlash and, everyone's going after her now. Yeah, because you're fucking running your fucking face and you're dumb.
Since when
That's why the backlash, by the way.
from the time my 2-year-old's been on a no streak, right? And then he got real surprised when his daddy said, don't speak to your mother that way, right? From the time we are infants, we say something and we're eliciting a response. Sometimes it's a mediocre, like meh. Sometimes it's aggressive. Sometimes it's positive. For all of humanity, this is what happens when you speak.
Yes.
There will be hate towards us in the comments. Probably
Yes.
more me than you.
No. Yeah.
But it comes with the job.
Yeah.
Like, so when you get up there on an international stage, Billie Eilish, and say something, don't play the victim when people respond to what you said.
And you guys over there are the first to jump on. If there was some preacher who's preaching fire and brimstone about gays and gays shouldn't be allowed to marry and a man shouldn't be laying down with another man and does all that, then gets caught in a gay affair, you guys just zip it or do y'all jump on?
They love it.
They love it. This is basically that.
Yes.
You're just saying this thing, and then you'll get caught in a $14 million house.
Yep.
So don't say it.
On Native American land.
Be gay and be quiet. That's what I'm saying. All right, now Jelly Roll
God
has
bless him.
his speech, and I guess he agrees with ICE. Now he can't. He's not going to.
We don't know. It's
No,
our
we do.
assumption.
We do.
He
We do.
loves Jesus,
We
so
do.
we also
He's-
think that he likes law and order.
He's not going to commit suicide up there and talk about digging Trump. Believe me, he voted for Trump, and he's all law and order, and he's all this. But
Wait,
he's not.
can he vote? Because he's a felon.
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't think he can vote.
He'll do the code, which is Jesus Christ.
Let me try to get this
How
out.
much?
He can vote because he was pardoned.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you get your voting rights back when you're pardoned?
I guess that's how
Wow.
it works.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Jeopardy question for 500.
Yeah.
I feel like, so at the Grammys, for people who don't know, there's obviously like the celebrity level and then there's like the attendees level. And a lot of the attendees are like fans and real people. And I felt like it was so interesting that CBS was like they panned to Reba twice.
Right.
And then you can hear like the normies clapping for Jesus.
Right.
But the look on celebrities' faces
Yeah.
when they then went to Trevor Noah in the crowd, there were people literally mouthing to each other like WTF, like they were stunned
Yes.
at what he had just said.
Yeah, they hate Jesus over there.
Heaven
They're
forbid.
heathens. Mm-hmm.
That's not a surprise though.
All right, what do you got in the news over there?
Also in the news, so remember that Philly DA? I think we talked about him last week, who said that he was going to hunt you down, talking about ICE agents.
I can't remember if we talked about him or not. I saw it, but I can't ever
Okay,
remember.
here we go. We have the video.
Is this Larry Krasner?
This is Larry Krasner.
Oh, Krasner.
Yeah.
All right, same guy I was thinking
A
of.
Democrat district attorney, looky, backed by none other than George Soros in Philadelphia. Last week in Penn Square, he denounced ICE agents and called them a bunch of wannabe Nazis. We have the video.
This is a small bunch of wannabe Nazis. That's what they are. In a country of 350 million, we outnumber them. If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities, we will find you, we will achieve justice. And
That's going to be the worst movie ever because they're not Nazis. I don't know who these people are. I'm now like I'm kind of disappointed, but also surprised at how dumb adults are.
Oh,
You know, like nobody thinks they're Nazis. There's nobody. First off, your comparison to law enforcement doing a job that the American people voted for and Congress ratified to Nazis is wildly insulting to any Jew with any sort of historical connection to the Holocaust at all.
you mean like Tim Waltz saying that like immigrants hiding in the attic or like Anne Frank?
Yes. Now, the Jews are leftists mainly, but they're not really leftists. They're scared and they've been persecuted so many times that they want to get along. And they realize, especially if they're trying to work in Hollywood or in California or in show business or in politics, they have to just shut up all the time. So they're in a weird position. So Jews who are very traditionally they're traditional people. They family oriented, education, community, church, and everything like that have to shut up because they're scared. Because if they started speaking up, then they'd be tossed out too. And also, they vote Democrat. So the Democrats are the ones who who make all the Hitler-Nazi associations, and Jews should be speaking out.
Well, to his credit, Josh Shapiro, who is a Jew, he
But
was so
Spielberg
Jewish.
should be saying,
Oh,
this is
100%.
Spielberg should be saying, I made a movie called Schindler's List. Fuck this guy.
Right,
But he
exactly.
can't because he's scared of being thrown out of the club. So now you Jews have to just eat shit, which is sad. But it's sad that you don't have a backbone.
Well, Josh Shapiro, apparently he was too Jewish for Kamala Harris. Remember when
Right.
she was running for president? He is the Democratic governor of Pennsylvania and a practicing Jew. And he said that he told Fox News that such remarks are, quote, unacceptable, abhorrent, and it is wrong, period, hard stop, end of sentence. Honestly, not to give the Democrats like too much free advice that I think is good, that should be the guy that they pick to run in 2028.
Yes.
Stay away from the AOCs, go with like a more kind of level-headed Democrat that's willing to speak up against this kind of crap.
It's also weird that these people, he is not a black leader and he is not the leader of like a Latino movement. He's just the DA of a major American city.
But that's an important job.
I'm not saying it's not an important.
Yeah.
Did I say it wasn't an
You were
important
saying
job?
he's just, though. Like, I don't get the...
No, he's a. Oh, did I say the word just?
You said he's just the DA.
Well, no. What I mean is now we got to check the tapes. What I mean is
Damn
he's
it.
not Black Lives Matter leader, and
Yeah.
he's not running a Latino group.
Mm-hmm.
He is a DA of a major city.
Mm-hmm.
Check the tape, Dawson. Now I got to find out. But I'm saying just, I don't mean it's not a job. I mean,
got
he
it.
only does this. He only does this. He's in charge of law in a
yes.
major
Got it.
city.
I got it.
And he's declared war on law enforcement
yeah.
in his city.
I got it now.
Which is now a crazy world to be in
Mm-hmm.
because he is what they call the top cop. They call the DA the top cop, but he's not for law enforcement.
Yep.
And he's not only not for law enforcement, he's trying to get these people killed by calling them Nazis.
And going after them. We will hunt you down. It's crazy. Now,
It's insane that he's in charge of the law in that region.
Now, a House Intelligence Committee member, Greg Stube, a Republican of Florida, called him out and recommended that Attorney General Pam Bondi take a closer look at this ever-escalating remarks on the issue. He said the DOJ should absolutely arrest and convict this guy. Apparently, he cited a federal code categorizing threatening a federal officer as a felony that's punishable by up to 10 years in prison. So it would be like America's top cop going after Philadelphia's top cop. I mean, he's not going to go to jail. Let alone
No,
for 10
but
years,
it never. He'll be a martyr like Don Lemon, but it never works. I don't. Also, it's kind of a weird thing. Like, why did you get into this business if that's where you're at?
If
Like,
you don't want to enforce the law.
Yes, but we're now living in a time where he's talking about hunting down people who enforce the law, but he's the head top cop of Philadelphia, which is crazy times. But it's all crazy, and they all have derangement.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. You must have Trump derangement syndrome in order to say such things. And Shapiro doesn't have Trump derangement syndrome. He doesn't like Trump, and he disagrees with Trump, but he doesn't have a syndrome that makes you scream crazy things into a microphone,
I
which
call it
are
Trump Tourette's.
Yes, it is, and you could be. These are punishable crimes in
Yeah.
certain cases. You're putting yourself in harm's way,
Yeah.
potentially, and you're saying insane things to your constituency. All right.
So here in California, I've been paying attention to the gubernatorial race, and something that I feel like is such a dichotomy is Democratic candidates. I think like one of the mayor of Stockton or somebody's running, and they're like, my goal is to, reduce prosecutions and also increase safety. And I'm like, how does this work?
Right.
Like, how does this work?
Through
like, when we
community
made
policing.
like felonies, misdemeanors, and misdemeanors nothing in the state?
Right.
That didn't really help. Like, if you just ignore that something bad is happening, doesn't mean that the bad thing ain't happening. And
none
that's
of it-
like what this guy's doing.
Yeah, he's horrible. God, it's so scary. The whole Soros thing. One day, a crazy anarchist gets billions of dollars and comes into town and gets everyone elected who agrees with them, and then they ruin the town. It's a weird process. It feels like kind of un-American. But anyway, so then Krasner's got to say insane things. And also, he's an idiot. But I mean, you have the mayor of Seattle like saying the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you going to investigate any daycare fraud?
Nope.
Nope, not at all.
not going to do that.
What was her name?
Oh God, I can think of it.
Yeah, I remember.
These people are central casting. All right, what else you got?
All right. So speaking of the California gubernatorial race, a GOP gubernatorial candidate, friend of the pod, Steve Hilton, is talking about this new insane tax that would charge California drivers per mile. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
Passed last week. Apparently, Steve Hilton talks about, quote, if Democrats get their way, the journey and every single journey made by anyone in California will be tracked. And we're going to have to pay a charge for every mile that we drive. It's kind of outrageous on top of the fact that, like, we pay the highest taxes per gallon of gas in the state. California's proposed mileage tax, also called a road charge, would replace the gas tax with a per mile fee. The controversial Assembly Bill 1421 passed by, wait for it, 43-18 last Thursday, despite pushback from critics suspicious of other pinches on their wallets. The bill does not enact the tax, but will research rates and collection methods by the California Transportation Commission and the State Transportation Agency. And then the report on those conclusions is due by January of next year.
All right. So they pushed everyone into electric cars. And then they got their way. They got a lot of people in California driving electric cars, and then they weren't able to gouge them with gas tax. Mm-hmm. So now they're having a revenue issue. There's a fundamental thing that I think is national, but it's also a California problem, and we're sort of the tip of the spear. You must figure out a way to reduce spending or figure out a way to bring in more tax dollars.
Yeah.
They never think about ways to reduce spending. They always think about ways to bring in more tax dollars. Uh-huh. And they're obsessed with, mansion tax and
the
billionaire tax and the mileage tax. And they sit around all day figuring out ways to get more money out of people who are already leaving California. They also want to do a tax that if you leave, you still have to pay for the next 10 years and stuff like that. I don't understand why there isn't any thoughts about reducing the burden. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you save $1, it's the same as making $1. There's so many ways to reduce your budget, which they never will do. They just keep hiring people, and they have a problem.
The only budgets they like to reduce are for clearing out debris and funding fire departments.
Well, not debris, but managing the forest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and keeping the fuel in the okay. They don't want to do that, so they have a problem. The problem is their constituency is basically illegals who get free shit, and then teachers' unions and people who work at the airport and people who are on the dole. Essentially, their constituency are people they pay. Mm-hmm. They're not entrepreneurs who go about their business and job creators. They're teachers' unions and illegals who are getting welfare and food stamps and whatever, Medicaid, everything. So your entire constituency, your voting bloc is made up of people who either don't pay taxes or do pay some taxes and then use you for a piggy bank and a paycheck. So now you have a choice. You can tell those people we got to cut way back on all the stuff you've been getting for free from us, which means trouble for you because they may not vote for you. Or you can go find a rich guy and tell him to pay his fair share, even though he's already paying way more than his fair share, and we can figure out new things to tax.
But then what happens when, and this could happen in New York City with Mamdani, right? It could happen here in California if, heaven forbid, we don't get a decent Republican as governor next time around, is then all the billionaires leave.
Right.
The middle-class people like myself, the small business owners who can't afford an extra $1,000 per year, or it's a pinch, right? Then this starts to happen and people continue to flee, and then your deficit continues and continues, and then you only have people that are on the payroll or mooching off the system.
Yes.
Then the state is worse off than it is. I'm just curious about the general timeline of how long does it take for that to come into effect before people wake up?
Homes.com. Well, some might say Homes.com is the best home shopping site. It may be Homes.com's super comprehensive and transparent agent directory. Or maybe it's that Homes.com is the only site that always directly connects you with the listing agent who knows the home the best. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's because Homes.com has the most in-depth neighborhood content of any home shopping site that's extensively researched to highlight the personality of each neighborhood. Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth info they need to find the right home. I always use Homes.com, and you should too. Homes.com, that's Homes.com. We've done your homework. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Well, they're in the business of keeping your car on the road. We know that. They offer friendly, helpful service and all the knowledge you need. If I can't figure out what's wrong with my car, if it's having an issue, they always are the ones I call first. They have thousands of parts in stock and can test your battery for free. Need wipers, brake light, or any kind of quick fix. They will get you the right part. Everyone who works there is knowledgeable and friendly. I don't know, they held the door open for me when I was walking out last time with my hands full. The professional parts people at O'Reilly are your one-stop shop for DIY auto stuff in-store or online. It's O'Reilly Auto Parts, right, Dawson?
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
Well, I mean, we're already there and that people are leaving.
But I mean, the wake up. Where's the wake up point? Where's the
wake up is a tough point for progressive people because they're not in that business. I've not had one person. Okay, I yelled about COVID for 5 years. Mm-hmm. I got yelled at by everybody, mm-hmm. and I've not had one human being come up to me and go, "Sorry, I was wrong. You were right."
Really,
not
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, but they're not in the business of apologizing. Who has apologized about COVID? Oh, guess what? It came from the lab. Oh, I guess we'll be getting an apology for that, or masks don't work, or ivermectin, or the jab, or whatever it is. They are not in the business of admitting they're wrong. So you're asking them to do something, which is admit they're wrong. Now, what they might do is they might quietly go into the voting booth and
That's all I want them to do. I'm saying, when's that wake-up point?
Yes, they might. That may be coming soon where they go, I don't want that fucking cow, Katie Porter, destroying this fucking nation.
God,
she is dumb and angry and
She's
stupid.
A mean
and
girl.
I don't want any more incompetent DEI Karen Bass hires or something. We need to get some competent dudes up in here and get this shit fixed.
Yep.
And that quietly may happen.
Who are the 18 brave souls in the California Assembly that voted against this?
Jesus Christ. That's all they do is sit around and think about ways to... And also, by the way, it's win-win. It's more money and more control. They're going to know where you go.
This also, the writing was on the wall here. I mean, as this article notes, the proposed tax is coming as the state faces nearly $3 billion budget deficit, and lawmakers are looking to make up lost revenue from, wait for it, drivers switching to electric and hybrid vehicles.
That you made us do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which they commanded that we do.
Yes.
And they incentivized it.
Yep.
It's like, guys, come on.
Well, you can kind of set your watch on it if you really think about it. Jesus Christ, $14 million. Is her house $14 million bucks, Billie Eilish?
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's $2,000 a square foot. That is a lot.
How many square feet? It's like 7,000 square feet.
That's right.
Wow, that was real fast math for this homeschooler who's horrible at math.
That was good. Yeah.
All right, next story. Mm-hmm. You were just at the Trump Kennedy Center.
Yes, I was.
Turns out it's going to be shut down and rebranded for a spectacular result. Do we have video of the president talking about this? He says the president made the recommendation to completely close the center for 2 years instead of keeping it partially open to undergo renovations after a one-year review of the arts building conducted by the contractors and musical art institutions, yada, yada. He said if they don't close it, the quality of the construction will not be nearly as good. And he noted that the decision to close the center for 2 years is totally subject to the board approval. NPR is having a heyday with this. I was listening to them this morning. They're super upset over there at Up First. They were saying that they actually think that this is a sign that maybe the Kennedy Center will not reopen because of the public that have been canceling their memberships and not attending. And they're saying, you know, the upheaval and him getting rid of the DEI people on the board, that he's just going to try to Trumpify it or it's never going to reopen and the arts in D.C. are dead.
I rocked that place so hard the foundation came apart, bro. So they got to do a serious pour over there. It's got to be fixed. If I'm the last comedian to play that place, that'll be a feather in my cap.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, first off, it's beautiful. It's a great facility. It was, it's right. DC's small. Everything's real nearby. I had a good time over there. Harmeet Dillon came by.
I love her.
Love her. Said hi. Brought some of her like DOJ friends with her.
So if we're ever in trouble, you got some numbers for me?
I think I could make a phone call.
Thanks.
Let's see. NPR has the Trump Kennedy Center confused with the Cinerama Dome, which will never open up again. Closed in 2020. Oh, Cinerama Dome is closed up in 2020? I thought that's where the ArcLight was now. No, closed.
Sad.
Well,
no, but they were legitimately like, "Oh, will it never reopen?"
Cinerama Dome was part of the ArcLight or part of the complex or something over there. They used to have it where you saw the big movies were in the Cinerama Dome.
No, I remember when it closed down and everybody was really sad about it.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic,
R.I.P.
official announcement in April. But why will it never open again?
Too expensive. And it just keeps getting pushed back year by year by year.
Oh.
Was the Cinerama Dome built like 71 or something?
It's a National Historic Registered spot.
Look it up.
It looks like
I just
60s
asked.
Vibes.
Late 60s.
Yeah.
Early. They'd show Earthquake at the Cinerama Dome and Towering Inferno, like those type of movies. The Cinerama Dome, I'll be curious. Okay, so let me figure this one out. And tell me, Andrew, if this is part of it. 63 is when they started, I guess.
Oh.
Or it was finished in 63, earlier than I thought. Okay. We had a big earthquake here in, I think, 74, but maybe it was 72. I can't remember.
We just came up on the anniversary of the Northridge earthquake.
Oh, we did?
I think it's 35 years since Northridge.
That was 94.
It was? So it was 30. When was Northridge? I could have
94.
sworn it was like 35 years.
No, it was like 94. I was there. It was early, like February, March.
Okay,
or
32
something.
years. I'm like, how?
It opened in 63, by the way. All right.
So I was right?
No. Well, you're right that it's from the 60s. That's true. The earthquake's from 94.
Okay.
All right. So here's the thing. The Cinerama Dome is like, oh, it's a Mad World was playing there. Okay. It's a big concrete pour, like the roof is, shotcrete or gunite or whatever. It's like a big concrete dome. It's a big thing, whatever. That was before the 72 earthquake. They put big regulations in place after every earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This thing is not up to code, is what I'm saying. Now,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been retrofitted over the years, but this would be a tough building to bring up to a modern earthquake code in California.
Got it.
And so I may be guessing
That's why
that because I used to do earthquake rehab work, that it's not just we're staying closed and never reopening because someone might make it into a nightclub or a restaurant or something like that. I am guessing that part of the problem is if you said, I would like to buy the Cinerama Dome and open it up and make it a skating rink, someone would go, you must meet these new...
With our free curated collection of Black entertainment.
No ifs, and
ands, or buts about it.
Catch award-winning films like Dreamgirls, Monsters Ball, and Selma.
We must make a massive demonstration.
Iconic hits like School Days and Set It Off. Plus full seasons of shows like Tyler Perry's Sisters and Power.
I got you.
It's star-studded brilliant black entertainment, and it's all free.
It's getting good.
This month and always on Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Here's the question now, Andrew. The Cinerama Dome, would they ever do a big retrofit on that place? And I'm sure they did. And if so, is that place up to code like right now? And if so, it's right in the middle of Sunset on Hollywood.
Wow.
Like you'd think somebody would buy it and turn it into the world's coolest restaurant or something like that. So it leads me to believe that maybe there's something going on. Andrew can look into that.
They couldn't get the permits.
And they needed a deputy inspector, and you can do another. Let's see. The iconic Cinerama Dome in Los Angeles, which closed March 2020, has not undergone a major finalized structural retrofit or remodeling since its 1963 construction, though it has been maintained and secured by the and faces ongoing delays for its planned reopening, past upgrades, renovation plans. There have been long-standing plans for renovation to reopen the venue, as discussed, focusing on restoring the interior, improving comfort, and blah, blah, blah. I would guess if that place has not been touched since 1963,
there's a lot to do.
There's going to be a lot of retrofitting to do, and it's going to cost a lot of money, and that's part of I think that's part of what's holding this up and keeping it closed.
When
that's
it reopens, we should do a live show from there.
I was walking when we were talking about me and Jimmy going and seeing Sex in the City 2, I think, and getting caught by TMZ and whatever. We were walking out of the Cinerama Dome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's do another. Do you have another story?
I do. Oh, well, no, I don't.
Oh, well, then what was the last story we were talking about?
The last story we were talking about was the Kennedy Center. Yep. It's closing on July 4th, by the way, so you have some time. They did a premiere for Melania there, and the First Lady and the President showed up to watch it. And have you seen the Melania documentary?
No.
I got invited to like a private screening last week, and I didn't get to go see it, but I've heard it's actually pretty good. All over LA, I've been seeing all the billboards and at the bus stops for it, and it's like Melania, and then people are spray painting "is in the Epstein files" over it.
I saw the one where they put the Hitler mustache on her.
Oh, that's sad. I haven't seen that. Everyone I see says it's in the Epstein files, like from West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, the Valley, everywhere.
I saw the one where she was taking a dump on the American flag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Wow.
Lord.
Would Hitler be insulted, or would he be warm-hearted knowing about his legacy, that we're essentially calling the first wife, we're calling her Hitler, that we're calling Aisha, like literally. Now look, it's like I'm Adam Carolla. If I was dead for 100 years and every douchebag who came down the pike was being called Adam Carolla, I'd probably go, no, he's just a douchebag. He's not that funny. Why are you calling him me? You know what I mean?
He's not as funny or as successful as I
Yeah,
was.
true. He's racist, but that's not. I was a lot more than that. Like, would Hitler be insulted with all the comparisons, or would he be delighted that we're using his name every 15 seconds in this
think
country?
He would be delighted, and somebody needs to tell this to the modern day left.
Yes, you're delighting Hitler.
He's so excited. He's burning in hell and is like, this is amazing.
I mean, everybody has a very finite amount of time on the planet. Your legacy, whether you're Hitler or Abe Lincoln, is really all you got.
Yep.
And that makes you eternal. And we are speaking his name every single day, all day.
More so than Abe Lincoln's is spoken.
Oh, more than Jesus Christ. I mean, if you watch
Especially
CNN.
at the Grammys.
Yeah, at the Grammys. We got one guy talking about Jesus. We got 1,000 people talking about Hitler. So Hitler, you've got a much better publicist than JC.
Speaking of Abraham Lincoln, that was one of the symphonies. There was supposed to be a symphony about Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
And
symphony, really?
Like a orchestral director. And like he had a whole score of music that he wrote about Abraham Lincoln, he pulled out of the Kennedy Center because it's now Trump Kennedy, and he doesn't want to work with Donald Trump. Which I'm just like, guys, if your art is so important and so beautiful and espousing good beliefs that are better for society and virtuous and all these things that you say it is, wouldn't you want to appeal to like any audience you possibly can?
Well,
or could. Sorry if I was bad grammar.
No,
there, but,
the venue is just a box with speakers and a microphone. Your audience is your audience, you know, and that's who comes out and sees you, So there are comedy clubs or theaters, you go, well, who's a very progressive comedian? You go, Patton Oswalt. Okay, he's very progressive. Okay. Okay. Well, he's played the Lowe's Theater or let's see, what's in Boston? The
Wilbur.
The Wilbur. Okay. Patton Oswalt played the Wilbur more than once. Adam Carolla's played the Wilbur more than once. When
the Wilbur is not political.
The Wilbur isn't. The Wilbur's a box that's 120 years old.
Yep.
Patton Oswalt shows up, and people who think like him show up to the audience. Adam Carolla shows up, and people who think like Adam Carolla show up to the audience. But the other place is just mortars and bricks and wires.
But I guess I'm the weirdo that, and I think you are too, outside of showing up at a comedy club, you will go on CNN or Piers Morgan or I think a progressive podcast like I do because you want to potentially reach other people that might disagree with you.
I don't even.
Whereas I'm saying,
I don't even do that. People invite me to come on something, and I usually say if my schedule will permit, I will do that.
But you have leftists that are like, well, hell no, I'll never go on Fox News, right? This is something that politicians or celebrities say or do all the time. Or I'll never work with Angel Studios. Or I'll never go on Adam Carolla.
They're mostly scared because they don't want to get whooped. I mean, in some sort of argument with Jesse Waters. I mean, they're mostly. Mark Ruffalo doesn't want to go on that. He says it's kind of like saying, like you're in junior high and you go, Brad Higgins wants to fight, and you go, I'd love to kick that guy's ass, but I'm not going to stoop to his level. But meanwhile, you're just chicken shit and you're scared he's going to beat your ass, and that's why the left doesn't come out to the right side.
Yeah.
The reason, as Bill Maher says all the time, Kamala Harris, Obama's, whatever, they never go on Bill Maher's show. All the people on the right go on Bill Maher's show because they show up with a belief and some stats, and they'll hold up their end, and Bill will hold up his end too. But Kamala Harris is never going to go. I mean, why? Let's just do a thought experiment.
Oh, fun.
Possibly. But I really want everyone to think about this. I brought it up before, but I'm just gonna lay it out. During COVID, Fauci wanted people to get vaccinated. Okay, so that's our base. Our base is he wants people to get vaccinated, and he's going on a campaign where he's going to tell everyone to please get vaccinated. Then we're getting a little more granular. He's going to say, and you know who's not getting vaccinated? It's the Trump voting Hannity watchers who are the ones who are resisting getting vaccinated. Okay. And Hannity has a much larger audience than CNBC or CNN.
Absolutely. Combined.
Okay. So let's just do it this way. Forget about vaccines. Let's just say I had a business where I sold taco shells, and I got a company that does pre-made taco shells. And you go, what do you want to do, Adam? And I go, I want to get the word out about my taco shells. Okay. All right. Well, Hannity does, 3 million viewers a night.
At Pluto TV, we're celebrating Black History Month with our free curated collection of Black entertainment.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Catch award-winning films like Dreamgirls, Monsters Ball, and Selma.
We must make a massive demonstration.
Iconic hits like School Days and Set It Off. Plus full seasons of shows like Tyler Perry's Sisters and Power.
I got you.
It's star-studded, brilliant Black entertainment, and it's all free.
It's getting good.
This month and always on Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
And who's not buying your taco shells? The people who watch Hannity. Oh, well, good news. And by the way, your taco shells are the best? Yeah. And they never caused harm to anybody? No. And they're safe and effective taco shells? Yes, they are. Well, good, because Hannity will have you on to talk about your taco shells. I'm not going on that show. Now, what's going on, Fauci? Well, Fauci's scared, and he's going to get pushback, and he's not going to be able to defend himself because he's missing a lot of facts, and he's lying a lot. And so he doesn't go on there. So this thing where they go, oh, Fauci's not going to. Why wouldn't Fauci, who, by the way, is not a politician, he just wants people to get vaccinated. Why not go find the biggest audience if you're selling vaccines? And those are the people who aren't taking your vaccine specifically.
His response was, well, they're anti-science. They're going to ask me gotcha questions. That was his excuse at the time, right?
They always do the gotcha questions or set up or not going to get a fair shake. Here's the whole thing. What do you mean? You have all the information and you are science.
You're supposed to be the expert.
Just go fucking settle Hannity's hash. Just go straighten him out. If somebody said to me like, okay, find a subject, or find something I feel passionate about or a subject I know well, like I go, all right, I know home improvement well. Okay. Oh, why don't you go on Ty Pennington's home improvement podcast? Because I don't want him to give me any gotcha questions. Like, I mean, I know everything. What are these gotcha questions? Well, he's going to be combative. He can be combative all he wants. I know more about the subject than he knows. Yeah, but what if he doesn't give you a fair shake? I don't know what that means. I can talk about this subject because I'm an expert in the subject, unless I have something to hide, unless I've been lying.
Yeah.
And that's where Fauci comes in.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris can't talk, and she's going to have problems with real questions. I mean, Bill Maher, the fact that neither one of the Obamas, I mean, Michelle Obama pops up on every fakakta podcast that's ever come down the pike.
Oh, like Call Her Daddy?
Oh, no.
A former First Lady of the United States was on the Call Her Daddy podcast.
I'm saying fakakta. I'm talking deep fakakta. I'm talking shit you never heard of. You've heard of Call Her. I get what you're saying, but at least you've heard of that. This is shit you've never heard of.
Yeah.
She'll go on. And I mean it. I see clips where I've been podcasting for 17 years. I see these clips. I have no idea who these people are. I don't know what this is. But forget about Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Forget about Bill Maher. So the question is, why? I mean, you want the audience. We can agree that these platforms have the biggest audience.
You don't want the
audience. You're a righteous truth teller.
They want the ass kissing.
Right. No, you're lying. You're going to have a lot of trouble. You would have a lot of trouble with basic questions that Bill Maher would ask. So you're a coward, and it's weird, but you want publicity, but you'll never go take a challenge. So that's why these people don't go any of these places, and it's cowardly, and people should just call it what it is. They're fucking scared. Fauci's scared, and Fauci's lying. And he's going to get a softball, whatever, with Morning Joe, and he's not going to get it with Bill Maher.
Yep.
Now, Bill Maher isn't going to tear him a new asshole, and he's not going to be disrespectful, but he is going to have questions.
And follow-up questions. Which used to be called journalism, but I guess, like, the mainstream media forgot that.
Right.
Was their job.
And Gavin Newsom will never come back on this podcast because he got follow-up questions. So, yes, it's fine, but first off, stop pretending like these guys are virtuous and they're just going to tell the truth. Fauci's a coward and he's a pussy and he's a liar, and he didn't want to go to places that would ask him real questions.
But what about a leftist or like orchestra symphony dude being like, oh, I'm not going to bring my art to the Trump Kennedy Center because it is now dubbed the Trump Kennedy Center?
They're just virtue signaling, and
but
also
it's all in the same vein.
I know, but the left, it's one thing not to do Hannity. You don't get minus points for that if you're Fauci. If you don't do Trump Kennedy Center, then you do get points for that. So it's all about the signal. They live in a world of sort of They live in a world of sort of bumper stickers and slogans and memes
And Instagram
and
stories
animation,
and- yeah,
right?
yeah.
So everything is symbolic to them. And when you kind of go to them, hey, what's going on? What's going on with the homeless? Where are the permits? What's going on with this fire? They go, oh. I'm not going to rest until everybody lives with dignity. You know what I mean? So they live in a meme world of stuff that doesn't really exist, and so they're much more involved and worried about that world than they are living in a real world where you play an actual concert.
Yeah. I mean, I like to talk to the other side, but maybe I'm a weirdo.
Well, I don't have any. I'll go on any show because I feel good about my points that I'm talking about. I don't feel. I feel like Fauci knew he was lying.
Yeah.
About gain.
And he didn't want to be asked questions.
Gain of function.
Yeah.
I mean, just leak the origins of COVID. Just the origins of COVID. They were all lying about the origins of COVID. You assholes backed them up and applauded them. I asked, didn't make sense to me. But he knows. Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's what's in the trunk. What's in the trunk? Cop pulls you over. What's in the trunk? Nothing. All right. Will you pop the trunk? No. What's in the trunk? Just road flares and a jack and a space saver spare. All right, sir. We'll just pop the trunk. No.
Yeah.
We'll just pop it and then there'll be nothing in it. What's in the trunk? Nothing. Just pop it. I'm going to call my attorney. Okay.
I plead the fifth.
Something's in the trunk.
Yep.
Trunk. That's all.
But I think that what you're speaking to is, yes, you're confident in your beliefs, but I think that you're also confident enough, or we are confident enough in our beliefs that I'm open to be questioned and questioning myself so then I can further investigate and figure out why I believe what I believe.
Yeah.
And I find that friends of ours like Larry Elder, Dave Rubin, that's when they started to make the move, the shift from the left to the right, or the left to the center, or the left to sanity, was when they allowed themselves to question things. And I think that that's an important part of like all of humanity, is like not viewing it as they're going to ask me a gotcha or I'm going to lose the debate, but being willing to address, maybe I am wrong here and I'm willing to figure out why.
Well, it's like I went on Bill Maher's and I said, look, I'm not against the vaccine. I had a perfect example. I had kids that were 14. I had parents that were 90. I said, let the parents get the vaccine. They're elderly. Who cares? And then I don't want the 14-year-olds getting it. And then I don't really want it because I'm fine.
Yeah. You had no comorbidities or anything else.
All right. So that seemed pretty in the middle. And can we agree on this? And why does that feel like a gotcha thing or what? And then they go, well, Adam, you're going to have to defend that. Like, okay, I'll defend it. I'll be real good at defending that.
Yep.